Hi everybody, I'm Alan Cathcart and I've just spent 180 miles riding this motorcycle in India, in the state of Rajasthan, which is actually India's largest state. Also, it's most deserted. It's mostly desert, and we rode over the Great Thar Desert on the most fantastic roads, really good quality highways, interspersed with villages and towns where lovely ladies like the ones behind me were happy to come and give me a little good luck token on my forehead. Royal Enfield is of course an Indian brand. It's made in Chennai, which is the other side of India from here. We're in the northwest area and Chennai is on halfway down the east coast. This is their first spin-off model from the twin-cylinder Interceptor that was launched 5 years ago and has been a huge sales success all over the world, leading the sales charts in Britain for the last 2 years, for example. It's Royal Enfield's first world bike in the sense that they don't make the model with an eye on their home Indian market as they've done before, but this was always intended to be a global platform. There are two versions. There's this one, which is the Tourer, obviously with the screen, a different riding position, different seat. They also do a naked version, which does have the same chassis and the same engine, but it's got a different seat, quite a different feel to it. This is very narrow at the step over, so you're very ensconced within the bike, which is nice when you're doing a long journey like I did today, whereas the naked one is wider and you're sitting more on top of it. Each will have its own audience, and talking about this one specifically, since it's the one I've just spent the day riding, I must say that it's going to appeal to lots of customers who never thought of getting a custom bike before, because this is several motorcycles in one platform. It's a tourer by definition. It's also a custom. Lots of people will customize them. I'm sure there'll be a really healthy aftermarket for both models, probably more for the naked one than for this, but this will still get customized. The performance is just what you need for an all-day ride. It's smooth, it's performing. I did 100 miles an hour, 160 Ks on some of the new toll roads that have been built, and I have to say Indian roads have improved hugely compared to when I first rode around here 20 years ago. And I think that this is a high-speed cruiser which won't be out of sorts on a German autobahn, for example. It will cruise all day, I'm certain, at 100 miles an hour, 160 Ks. But it's extremely torquey. It's got a 6-speed gearbox, but you don't need to keep using that all the time. And there's no tacho, so I can't tell you how many revs that is, but you can lug it down to 40 Ks, 25 miles an hour, in top gear, and it'll pull away pretty smoothly when you open up the throttle again. So that makes it a very easy bike to ride. Bye, ladies. Now the riding position is cruiser-esque because you've got the forward footrest, and that's possibly the only criticism I've got to make about the bike. I know for some of the shorter people in our group it's been difficult reaching the footrest. For others, and I'm 5'10", 1.80 m, I found them just a little bit too far forward. I'd like to have them back a bit. I think definitely they've got to have an adjustable footrest kit, and I'm sure they'll be doing that. But the seat and the riding position have been really well thought out. And this one, the Tourer, you're sitting in a relatively upright position, despite which I didn't get any blast from the front of the screen. And they've planned it so that the base of your spine, the coccyx, does not touch the seat. So you're not sitting on your spine, you're actually just slightly leaned forward and with the weight off it. It's really comfortable for a long journey like we've had today, 6 hours. The quality of manufacture is really fantastic. It's hard to believe that, 20 years ago, Indian-built motorcycles had ugly welds and not very good quality switchgear, and cast aluminium parts on this bike are really high quality. It's a lot of motorcycle for the money. It's also one that's going to appeal to a very wide range of people who haven't actually probably thought of buying a cruiser before. There will be people who are downsizing from a Harley or an Indian and want something that is less costly, which is perhaps more versatile, and which also looks good. And I've got to say that the styling of both bikes, for me, is really excellent. The engine is super flexible. You can let it run as low as 25 miles an hour, 40 Ks in top gear. It's a 6-speed gearbox, but you really only need 5. But the engine is so flexible that you can let it run that low in top gear and it'll pull away without any transmission snatch. As you get to 120 Ks in top gear, 75 miles an hour, you can feel just a little spurt. The engine picks up speed faster, and it's quite exciting. Top gear roll-on is mega, and that happens all the way through the rev band. Again, if you get up to 120, you wind the throttle on, there's still more to come, and it's going to keep on accelerating. I think that Royal Enfield is definitely on a roll here. I think it's going to be a huge hit, especially because of the likely price, but also because it is in fact just a very good motorcycle, and I'm very glad to have had the chance to spend a day with it.